Hey Trevor, it's Michael Harvey. Just wanted to check in with you and show you a couple things about your website and some other things on the internet, and show you some ways that I think we can increase your business by a whole lot. I've done a little bit of research now into the whole towing industry in Regina, and I think I've learned enough about it, understood the numbers and the metrics and the competition and the online presence and the search metrics and how many people are buying services related to towing in Regina. I think that you and I working together, we can give you more business than you can handle and grow your business and get you bigger than your competition. And I'm going to show you a couple of things how I think we can do that. First of all, your website is in good shape. ABC Towing and Club Towing don't even have websites, and they're not interested. I don't think they really understand the opportunity that exists on the internet today for growing business. And they've been around forever, and they're complacent, and they just don't care. I think that's something that really needs to be focused on here. So you already have a website, which is good, and you have a terrific website. It's in really good shape. Your content is good. I like the reviews section that's set up here, which makes a lot of sense. It looks good. I think there's a couple of little things I could show you, some behind-the-scenes stuff that will help your visibility with your website and allow you to gain even more customers. Your website itself is not great, not your website, but websites that on their own in the service-based industries don't generate a whole lot of sales, but they're the gap between you and that phone call that gets you business. So there's some things I think we can do here. We can expand some of your content out, add a little more photos, and make sure some of the meta tags are labeled properly. There's two different kinds of optimization that I specialize in. One is on-page optimization, so doing some things on your website to help your visibility with Google search, and then off-page optimization, which is things that occur on the internet outside of your website that help your company. So I'll kind of break that down a little bit for you in a way that's a little bit easier to digest. But anyway, the point is your website's in really good shape. I really like it. I think there's a couple small things we can do. I ran an audit on your website with one of the tools that I have, and I sent you in that email yesterday the PDF of that audit. So have a look at that. That just shows you all the things that I can do that will help moving forward your visibility of your website. So that's that. This is the website that I had set up back in August, I believe it was. I'm a marketing guy. I help local businesses. I'm from Regina. This is what I do. I find industries where I think I can help local businesses. I'm an honest guy. I only charge fees based on the extra business that I bring in. I never become liability for business owners. I really believe in what I do, and I'm pretty good at it. But this is the website that I set up. It's very simple in nature. It's not visually stunning, but it's not meant to be. But it's set up in a very deliberate way. There's over 1,000 words of content, which is something that Google really looks at. They like pages with lots and lots of content. 2,000 words is even better. That's one thing that I think on your website will increase your visibility and your authority, is adding a lot more content. But there's some simple content on here, and I've got some keywords strategically placed around here, bold, underlined, of the keywords that you want to be found for on Google. It's really simple. Anyway, this is a partner site for you, okay? So if somebody calls your number right now and says, is this Regina Towing and Roadside, you can feel free to answer, yep, that's one of our partners, or yeah, this is us. I mean, I am your partner. I want to be your partner. I want to help you grow your business in the long term. So this website could be rebranded to Trevor's Towing, and we can go at it from that way, or we can leave it as a separate entity and just leave it as Regina Towing and Roadside and filter all of those calls that we generate now. About 15 to 20 calls a day. It's really gone up, as you can see. I have all the calls here by day. I can check them out. I can listen to them. I get the sense by some of these smaller calls here that are missed that it tells me that it's giving you a lot of business, and you're probably out working and don't get all the calls. But again, my goal here is to give you more business than you can handle. I want to help you grow your business so that you can buy more trucks and expand and get even bigger, all right? And we can do that. We can become bigger than ABC and Club Towing. It's absolutely possible with my method. Anyway, this is how I track the calls. I see the calls that are coming in. Right now we're about 15 to 20 calls a day. In the last week or so, I've put in a lot of effort with my own website and with some of the things that I do around the internet to increase our Google search presence. Google search presence really is how I intend to draw business to you. It's all about Google search. And, 30,000 views. 30,000 views for towing services. 213 clicks, all these different search phrases. Look at this, smartphones, 90% of people are searching for towing services using their smartphone, which only makes sense because you're stuck on the side of the road when you're looking for a tow truck, right? This is a lot of business. That's a lot of people to be in front of. Not every one of those, of course, is a paying customer, but people are using the internet to find towing companies, and that's something that your competition is ignoring. They're relying on their organic customers, people in Regina that know about their companies and just look at them through the phone book. Well, that's a dying breed, all right? The business moving forward is people doing Google searches for towing companies, and I think you know that too. But there's a lot of people to get in front of. So when you use, this is actually, according to Google, the most popular search term that there is in this region. Okay, this word alone got 4,000 searches in the month of November. Okay, so in this map pack here, ABC, Provincial, and DJs, which I think belongs to one of the two. I think it belongs to Club Towing or something like that. It's really important to get in this map listing. This is what's called above the fold. And that's an old newspaper analogy for the stories that were on the front of the newspaper and the stories that were on the bottom of the newspaper below the fold line. Obviously, the ones above the fold got way more exposure. So being in this map pack is really important, and this actually, the process for getting in this map package is different than the organic search rankings of websites that you see below here. Getting in here is listing with a separate company called Google My Business. Now, I do know that your company is involved here. You may just be, because you've been around long enough, that your company is listed. If you have not claimed this listing, it's very important that you do. It looks to me like you probably already have, but you can manage your profile here. Getting reviews is one of the biggest things that you can do towards increasing your ranking. Being in the position that you are right there and being in that top 3 is going to mean the difference of probably 80 to 90% of the business of the calls that come in through these listings. Okay, you can even see that my listing is actually quite ahead because you can use them to. I'll give you some simple tips and tricks that you can do to increase your listing here. You want to get more reviews. That's the biggest one. The more reviews you have, the better, because the more you have, the more Google sees that you're a popular business in town, and Google's objective is to give the best results to the end user. The other thing that you need to do to get in this top 3 to increase your profile in the Google My Business map section here, it's called citations. You know, the directories that are around the website, like 411.ca, Yellow Pages, MySask. The more you have of those with your name, address, and phone number that are consistent across the internet, the more authority you're going to get in the map package. Okay, so what that means is that there's about 350 different business directory websites across Canada that you should be listed in. I could do an audit for you. My guess is you're probably listed at around 75 to 100 of them. The more citation directories that you're listed in, the higher ranking that you're going to get in that map package. Google looks at that very specifically. And most importantly is that information has to be consistent across the internet. Your name, address, phone number, and your website address all have to be exactly the same. Anything that's incorrect will basically not give you any power. So that's one thing that you can do, is get as many of those citation listings as you can across the internet. You spend a few hours, you find as many as you can. You can do a Google search for business directories in Canada, and you'll find huge lists of them. People have sent them out across the internet, so that's something you can do. And that's something I do as well. If you and I partner moving forward, that is one thing that I do, is I manage your map pack listing and get you into that top spot. As far as organic search rankings, that also plays into the map package as well, but this is interesting. This is really low-hanging fruit, because ABC and Provincial, Club Towing, and DJs, they don't have websites, and they don't want them. So for you and I to come in with powerful websites, once they begin to rank, we're going to take over that 1, 2, and 3 spot, no problem. All right, ABC and Provincial Club Towing have made it very clear that they're not interested in their online search presence, and we are, and that's what's going to make all the difference. Okay, takes a little bit of time. None of this is a magic potion. It takes hard work and diligence and effort and a good strategy, but it can be done. All right, so in just a few months, you can see here that I have already sort of risen to the top. This company, Dr. Hook Towing, is a Manitoba towing company, but they have done such a good job of their online presence and doing some of the things that I'm about to talk about in a moment, that they are ranking for towing communities outside of their area, which is in Manitoba. But they're doing so good in their online presence that they're starting to show up in rankings in other places, which is a great signal for them, but doesn't really matter to us, because it doesn't matter if anybody's calling them in Regina for towing services. So When I started this a couple of months ago, my website was found on page 4 and 5. Okay, today it's on page 1, and it's not going to be long before I get to that number 1 spot. Your website does pretty well also. It's on page 1, and there's a couple of things I'm going to show you right now how you can catch up to me and get ahead of me and surpass me in these search rankings. Probably the biggest thing that Google looks at when it comes to search rankings they're called backlinks. Okay, this is another keyword which was a little more specific to us, but we're ranking higher in there. Okay, but this is what we want to see for every different keyword search term for towing services in this area. Okay, and there's about 45 big ones that we need to tackle. The biggest thing that Google looks at when it comes to where to rank websites in Google search, it's called backlinks. It's how many other websites out in the world link to you. For example, if TheLeaderPost.com does an article about winter weather in Regina, and they talk about towing companies, and they have a little sentence in one of their articles that says, "Call Trevor's Towing for towing service in the winter. Check out their website here," and the word "here" is underlined. And it links to your website. You click on that and it takes you. That's called a backlink. All right. So when I do an audit of your backlinks, I see that you only have 2 from 2 different websites: CanadianBusinessDirectory.ca and ReginaCyclics.ca. Those are the only 2 backlinks that you have. Okay, so your number 1 objective is to get as many backlinks around the internet as you can. Well, how do you get people to write about you? How do you get your link on other people's websites? There's a few different strategies. I'm going to talk about those, but not all backlinks are the same. There are 2 main kinds. There is what is called a follow link and what is called a no follow link. And both of your backlinks are no follow links, and those are of no value to you. What you want are follow links. You see these numbers here: citation flow, trust flow. These numbers indicate how powerful these websites are. All right, so a high school kid that sets up a blog on WordPress tomorrow and writes 3 articles has no authority, has no traffic, nobody knows about the website. The website is worthless. Okay, but a website like Wikipedia or HuffingtonPost.com or CNN.com has huge power because they have millions of clicks and lots of traffic and huge authority, and Google knows that they're a really strong website, so they have a lot of power. So a link from CNN.com would be worth 1,000 times more than it would be worth a link from the blogger down the street who writes an article about you. It can be worth tens of thousands of links. So this gives you an indication of how powerful that website is. So if this was a follow link, you would be getting all of this power pushed to your website in terms of how important that backlink is. And I know this isn't super exciting stuff, but it is really important because it is the biggest thing that we will focus on when it comes to ranking your website. So getting more backlinks for you that are follow links is the number 1 objective here. Let's have a look at my site. I've spent a little bit of time in the last week building up some of my backlinks. If we go to my summary page, you will see that I think it's about 25 to 30 Okay, so I have 33 external backlinks, and this is probably a couple of months worth of work. It's, again, like I said, this is not a shiny, exciting process. It's slow, it's boring, it's tedious, but it takes hard work. So let's have a look at some of the backlinks that I've gotten here. Now you see this, the link type is empty here. That means this is a follow link. This is a follow link. This is a no follow link. And any good link profile of any website is going to have a certain amount of no follow links. I'll tell you in another conversation why no follow links even exist, but it's basically to reduce spam on the internet. Follow link, no follow link, and most of these are business directories, some of the ones that I'm talking about. So not only am I getting credit for a follow link here, that's also a citation website, which is going to help my Google map listing. Okay, so I've got a whole bunch of those, all kinds of backlinks here. So that's why my website is ranking higher than yours when we looked at that Google page a few minutes ago, because I've got more backlinks. So again, number 1 objective, more backlinks. That's the number 1 ranking factor out of about 250 ranking factors that Google looks at where to put websites. Backlinks is probably the most important. So this is the website audit that I did for you here. It's an audit done against this keyword, Regina Towing Services. You may not understand, I don't know how internet savvy you are. You have a great website, I'm sure you can hang around the internet no problem, but If not a lot of this makes sense, it doesn't really matter. But these are things I could knock out in a couple of weeks, all of these things here. And this is something you're going to have forever moving forward. If I do this work for you, it doesn't just last for the length of our partnership. You're going to have this forever. I'm going to build up your website. You're going to be number one. That's something that you're going to have and keep, and that's going to be an extremely valuable asset for you. But you